What is going on, guys? My name is The Rose, and I am joined with Cypher, the co-founder of Black Sakura, doing a surprise part 3 to episode 5, because I thought we were done with episode 2, but found 3 articles that I feel should be discussed. Nothing too major. There is a pretty decent announcement coming from Sega, however, and 2 announcements from Sony. Well, one really an announcement, and one covering the PlayStation 4 sales. So before we do that, of course, follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, and subscribe to the YouTube channel for more podcast videos and gameplay videos. Subscribe to Erin Fitzgerald on YouTube and follow her on Twitch, as well as following her on Facebook and Twitter. And check out Black Sakura on Facebook and go on over to jotaku.net and read the articles that we'll be posting over there once in a while. All of the links are down in the description box, down below under the video, as always. And before we begin discussion, Cypher, you had a video, or not a video, you had a story you wanted to mention.
Well, I actually had a few things that I've done in the last couple of days. So the first is you mentioned Gaming Historian's Tetris video. I just got done watching that before we recorded.
Fantastic video.
Is fucking great. It is like a 60-minute PBS documentary about basically all the legal battles. For those of you who don't know, Tetris had all these legal battles for the licensing rights. And I think that's really interesting because it's very, like, I want to be a lawyer. And I find that for this kind of stuff, it's like super formative for the gaming industry and for how publishing works. On top of that, so today I also came into some money, so I went out to my local GameStop and I purchased King of Fighters 14, one of the 2 steelbooks that I was talking about in, I think, episode 2 or 3. So I got that today, and a copy of Xenoblade Chronicles 2. And then while I was out, I also went into the local music store, and while I was in there, I picked up they had a wine red Epiphone acoustic guitar on sale for $110. So I bought it because I am in the market for a new guitar. So it's fucking cold out because it's Canada, and I call the cab company, and I get in the back seat of this, like, I put my guitar in the back seat of this cab, and I get in to the front, and the cabbie looks over and he's like, "What did you get?" And I was like, "Oh, well, there's this wine red guitar," and I describe it to him, and he's like, "No way, I just traded it in like a week ago." And there was nothing wrong with it. Like, we just kind of shot the shit while he drove me home about how, like, about music and stuff. It was really neat. Like, I've never really had a conversation with a cabbie like that.
So the guitar you bought, was it his guitar he traded in? Did it
was his guitar originally, and he traded it in because he traded it in towards another model. Basically, he only traded it in because he needed the money.
Oh, I see. Yeah, I mean, the last time I had a good conversation with a cabbie, we were talking about baseball and the Yankees and whatnot.
Yeah.
I mean, cabbies are strangers. You don't know who they are, so, you don't know if you want to trust them or not.
It's the same thing as, like, going to the barber shop. Like, I cut my own hair now, and I have for the last couple of months. So, like, my current Twitter avatar, I think that's shortly after I cut my hair for the first time. But anyway, I fucking hate going to the barber shop because I really don't want to speak to you if you're cutting my hair. I just want to sit there and not talk.
You just want to zone out and just let them do their work.
Yeah. I just want to zone out and let you do your job. Like, sometimes it's nice, but it's like, don't expect me to talk, you know what I mean?
Right. So, you said you didn't watch the football game last night, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so you watched the Super Bowl. I didn't.
I watched the game, Super Bowl 52. I actually streamed during the entire game. Well, not during the entire game. I started streaming. It was about a little more than halfway through the second quarter. That stream is on my channel, available of last night. I was streaming Classic Mario World, a ROM hack of Super Mario World. I finished the hack last night in 3 parts, and during the hack, I said I was going to be doing live reactions to the game and live score updates of the Super Bowl 52, so that's what I did. next to the game. I put the logos of each team and the score as as things happened. And the stream lasted a little over 3.5 hours. Would have lasted longer if I started at the start of the game, but I didn't. The game was really good. Now, I hate the New England Patriots with a passion.
Me too. Me too.
I am a Miami Dolphins fan, and yes, they are a terrible football team right now.
When I watched football, I was into the Falcons and the Eagles, so I'm glad that the Eagles won last night.
Yeah, I mean, I like the Eagles a little bit. I mean, I wouldn't cheer for them unless they're going up against a team I don't like.
That's fair.
I grew up a Steelers fan because my dad's a Steelers fan, and then I converted on my own.
Okay.
Bad choice, by the way, because the Steelers have had much more success than Miami in my lifetime. And so I'm watching the game last night. The game was fantastic. It was a good back-and-forth battle. A couple of players, unfortunately, got injured. There was this one play where a wide receiver, Brooks, on the Patriots, caught the ball, and he turned around to run forward because he was facing the quarterback when he caught the ball. And he just got blindsided from the side, and he took a nasty hit and went straight down to the fucking ground. And he got taken out of the game for not concussion, but they called it like a head-related injury. So he never returned to the game, and a couple other players, they got injured and came back and eventually, just stayed out of the game if they got injured again. Surprisingly, there are no quarterback sacks in the game, on either side. The game was not a sloppy game at all. There were not many penalties, no interceptions thrown. There was a fumble, however, which cost the Patriots the game in the end. But, yeah, the game was back and forth. Like, the Eagles would score, then the Patriots scored, then the Eagles scored, the Patriots scored. And then there was one time the Eagles didn't score and the Patriots did score in the fourth quarter, and they took the lead, and they were winning by 1 point. It was 33-32 at that point. And they only had the lead for maybe 2 minutes in the whole game. And then Brady fumbled the ball. He went to throw it, and a defender hit his hand. And when he went to throw the ball went backwards a little bit, bounced off the ground and right into the Eagles defender's hand. Like, it literally looked like fate decided the game, the way that play unfolded.
Finally punishing Tom Brady for being a cheating prick.
Well, here's the thing. There was a play against the Steelers that was a touchdown. It was like a catch and a dive into the end zone for a score. And for some reason, I didn't see this play, but they called it a non-score. They called it, I guess, incomplete or whatever, or not scored.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a catch last night, similar play. The Eagles wide receiver, I forgot who it was, he caught the ball. He took about 2.5 steps forward and lunged for the end zone, and he hit the end zone with the ball. He was clearly like a yard over the line to score. But when he hit the ground, the ball popped out of his hand, went up in the air. He rolled over and caught the ball again before the ball hit the ground.
That's fucking cool.
They reviewed the play for like 5 minutes, and they, the commentators were saying it was probably going to get overturned and yada yada. I'm like, that's not a fucking incomplete pass. He scored. That was a catch. There's nothing to overturn. And thankfully it went the Eagles' way, because the similar play that happened to the Steelers that did get overturned cost them home field advantage in the playoffs. And it happened to be against the same fucking Patriots team. And, and that was the play. Before Brady fumbled the ball when he went to throw it. And that's what sealed the fate of the Patriots, because the Eagles obviously had the ball back in Patriots territory. They kicked the field goal to go up by 8 points instead of 5. The Patriots got the ball back with 56 seconds to go on their own 9-yard line. And they had to score 8 points to tie the game in 56 seconds, which is really hard to do for any team, no matter how good you are. The game was fantastic. I was happy the Eagles won. The commercials, didn't really care much for. Super Bowl commercials are another reason I watched the game. That's when all the new commercials get debuted. But a lot of them sucked yesterday. Like, they haven't been great for a couple of years now.
No, no. The last time, like, I don't watch TV, and I don't usually stream events like that if they streamed it. But like,
Well, there were ways to watch it online illegally, of course.
oh yeah, that's what I meant. Like in a roundabout way, that's what I'm saying. But yeah, I found that it wasn't like the last couple of years. The Super Bowl halftime shows and commercials have been fucking terrible.
I'm trying to think who was the one. I don't remember who it was that was decent. It was a while ago, but Justin Timberlake last night, it was blah. I muted the TV because I got tired of hearing it.
That's fair.
And then I unmuted the game when the game started back up. But these fans, did you happen to see what I posted in the Discord last night?
No, I went to bed super early last night.
Alright, I'm going to pull this up. I want you to look at it real quick. It's like a 30-second clip.
Alright.
I just have to backtrack a little ways to find it. It's like a 30-second clip, and well, the police they put hydraulic oil on like lampposts and fucking street signs and shit to keep people from climbing the freaking poles and doing stupid shit.
Yeah.
And this one fan did it anyway, and he slipped off the pole, went straight down on his back and on the back of his head, and hit the freaking concrete. I want to say it was pretty fucking hilarious because the moron deserved it. But
yeah, I was gonna say that's pretty funny.
But kind of sucks he got hurt, but at the same time he kind of deserved it.
That's the price you pay for being a dumbass.
But I'm trying to find this fucking clip.
I'm scrolling through public chat, or did you post it in private?
No, I posted it in public.
Fuck. Okay, let me just.
1-4. Yeah, it was. Yeah, it's a little ways.
I'm looking at your recent. This was late last night.
Yeah. All right. I'll just go to my Facebook.
I think I found it.
No, it's on my. I posted.
This is what happens when Philly wins the big game, and then it's NFL memes.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I just got it.
I should have just said for you to go look on my Facebook.
Jesus, my ears. Oh, that's fucking good. That's real good.
I mean, why would anybody celebrate in that kind of behavior?
Obviously, you've never Obviously, you've never looked at the news in Canada after the Stanley Cup Finals every year.
No.
Hockey fans are the worst. Like, they fucking riot in the streets.
I mean, why do people feel the need to have to celebrate like that, though?
Well, no, the riots in Canada are usually for the losing team.
Right, but they do it sometimes when they win, too. Some
I never
teams.
quite got that. I think it's just like... it's something psychological, because I will admit that, like, I don't like many sports, but I will watch hockey in the arena, because it's fucking fun when you're actually there in the rink. Because it's a fun atmosphere to be in.
Well, yeah, like, if you're ever at any live event, it's more fun than watching it on TV.
Exactly.
But seriously, like, what possessed these people just to go up to somebody's random person's car, parked on the street, and just set it on fire? And then... you hear, like, fireworks in the background, which could be mistaken for gunshots, for all you know, in Philadelphia. Some people were rushed to the hospital last night because of these freaking moronic fans. I don't understand why. Why people do that. Like, New York fans, thank God they don't act like that. Because I support the Yankees baseball team. When they win their championship, they celebrate peacefully. They have a fucking parade and everything, and nobody's outside blowing shit up. Nobody's outside shooting people or climbing fucking lampposts. Nobody's setting shit on fire. I don't understand why people feel the need to do this.
Well, it's the same thing. Like, I work security at the university that I attend. And last year, we hosted Hockey Nationals. So our team won. Like, our university team won their, like, 5th or 6th national title. And Everybody celebrated. Nobody was violent. Like, the only thing that we did was we had two guys stay after the game and monitor the dressing rooms until we were told that we could leave.
Makes sense.
Otherwise, otherwise nothing happened. Like, even then, it was just a precaution. Nothing actually went down.
I mean, see, out here in New Jersey, we really don't have anything worth cheering because all we have out here is the Devils hockey team in New Jersey. But out here, there aren't many hockey fans. So even if they win, nothing happens. We had the Nets basketball team, but they moved to Brooklyn, so we lost basketball. And our two football teams, the Jets and the Giants, they play in New Jersey in MetLife Stadium in New Jersey, but they're billed from New York. So if they win, they celebrate in New York. So New Jersey really has nothing to cheer for.
Okay. Fuck.
So that's that. I just wanted to get that off my chest. I don't understand why people are fucking idiots.
No.
I mean, it's Philly. I know their, fans are ravenous. But I just don't understand how people could just support behavior like that. They're like saying, some people were saying like, well, it wouldn't be Philly, Wouldn't be a Sunday night in Philly if something wasn't on fire.
Apparently, a couple of streets down from where I live, they light a couch on fire every week.
Why?
I don't know. One of my profs came out and told me this last year because I was doing I was selecting all my new courses, and we were talking about this, and he's a pretty cool dude, and he's like, are you thinking about living on campus? And I was like, next year? And I was like, fuck no. You must be retarded if you think I'm going to live on campus with these fucking degenerates.
Oh, shit.
Like, oh, where are you going to live? And I was like, oh, well, my roommate and I just signed a lease a couple of streets over. He's like, oh, yeah, well, it's a good neighborhood. Like, at least you're not living on this other street where they light a couch on fire every weekend. And I was like, are you fucking kidding me? He's like, no, that really happens. I'm like, apparently, according to the newspaper that I work for, they're, like, they party fucking hard, dude. Like,
I don't understand why people do that. I mean, I kind of understand college people because they're fucking nuts. They're young. They're dumb.
That's why. A lot of, we did an editorial on it recently, and apparently it's because a lot of these people just want to get it out of their system while they're young. And I can respect that. Like, I think, it's not for me, and I think that, there's limits to it, but I can at least respect not wanting to do that when you're 25.
Right, but I mean, there's still consequences for what these people do.
Oh, yeah, I'm not denying that. That's why I'm saying I would never do it, and I can respect the mentality, but I don't necessarily have to respect the action itself.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of don't respect either one, but I understand where you're coming from. Alright, so now that I got that out of my system, and we're about 18 minutes in, let's start with the PlayStation 4 sales. We'll go from, least important to greatest important, I guess.
Okay, so apparently the PS4 has currently sold 76.5 million units, according to Sony's latest earnings report. Now, this is pretty significant because the PS3's lifetime sales up to this point have been 80 million, which means that the PlayStation 4 is probably going to outsell the PS3 within the next year.
I would say the next few months.
Well, I'd say the next few months, but we're not going to know until Sony's earnings report.
Right.
Oh, it's quarterly, so we won't know for 3 to 6 months, depending on how long it takes. So apparently 9 million were sold between October and December of last year, and that it was at 73.6 million, so it sold about 3 million units in the last 2 months.
Just pretty good.
Which is pretty fucking good. It says here that it will still take some work to outsell the PS2, though, which sold 155 million units worldwide. And I gotta be honest, I don't think they're gonna outsell the PS2 ever.
I was gonna ask you that. Do you think the PS4 is finally gonna dethrone the king of consoles? Because
Fuck no.
The PS2 is the best-selling console ever. Out of all of them. Nintendo, Microsoft, Sega,
I really think it deserves it. Fuck, man. I guess I'm a little bit, I've got the nostalgia goggles on, but I grew up on the PS2. I think the PS2 has one of the best fucking libraries of games out there, and they managed to keep that fucker alive for a long time, even after the PS3 came out. Like, I think maybe it's like lightning in a bottle because the PS3 was such a shit show for the first few years.
Yeah, it didn't start to get good until like 2009 or so.
Yeah, like once they hit like the slim and the price drop, that's when the PS3 started to be really good. The PS2 was good from the start.
I mean, the PS3, it suffered from the outrageous price, $600.
No. $599 according to that just fucking disaster of E3 2006.
Fuck the penny. I rounded up.
That's fair.
I mean, I bought one back then. I bought one back then because it was my high school graduation. I bought it in 2007.
Okay.
And for my high school graduation party, I got $1,100.
Fuck, bro.
So I'm like, okay, I'm going to get me a PlayStation 3. I bought that. I bought a couple of games. I bought the Nyko intercooler with it, which was a bad idea because it actually helped kill my console twice.
That sucks.
Because the intercooler draws extra power from the console, which is something I didn't realize back then. But now I know I'll never use one of those third-party intercoolers again.
Yeah, like I remember my mom. My dad always. My father had a PS1 growing up. My mother came in one day, and I think it might have either been Christmas or his birthday, and she bought him she bought him a PS2. I was 2 or 3 years old, and she's like, "Don't tell your dad." So what's the first thing I went and did? I told my dad.
You defiant little bastard.
I know. Well, I've always had problems with authority, don't you know? But yeah, like my parents realized at a very early age they couldn't tell me fuck all. It was great. Like this one year, we bought my nan a chocolate fountain for Christmas. So anyway, I told her shortly before, like on Christmas Eve, but before we went to open our presents. And it turns out the fountain was broken, so she was really pissed.
Oh, man.
Because like, she was looking forward to it. She's like, man, that sounds awesome. And then turns out that we bought the one defective model in the store.
That sucks, dude.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah, so like I think that it can easily outsell the PS3.
Oh, it's going to, no doubt.
I think that I really hope that their recent sales numbers extend the life of this console, because I swear to Christ, if I have to buy a PS5 within the next 2 years, I'm going to be really mad.
I think there's a potential that it could release. I hope not. But
I really hope not.
We may see it holiday next year or holiday 2020 for sure. That's what I'm thinking.
My problem with the PlayStation 5, or like the idea of the PlayStation 5, is that I feel like the PlayStation 4 hasn't really... It's gotten off the ground in terms of releases, but I feel like its online store is very lacking. Like a lot, like the PS3 store from like day one
was
at least
bolstered.
Was fucking stellar.
Yeah, it was stacked.
But the PlayStation 4 thing, it's because of certain policies that Sony has. Like, for example, you can't put a classic on the store unless it has trophy support and runs in HD. It needs to be upscaled and it needs to be have trophies. And a lot of companies don't want to put the time or the manpower into that. Like SNK2 is not on the PS4 store. It's on the PS3 store, but it's on the PlayStation 4 store.
Yep.
Persona, like, there's a lot of stuff that I wish was on the PlayStation 4, and I kind of just wish that they not necessarily do away with trophies, but make it so that it's not a requirement right now, and then kind of push companies to patch it in later.
Right.
Because I think that, like, if I'm playing Persona 3 in 1080p with trophy support, I'm happy to buy it, like, again. And I've already bought that fucking game, like, 4 times.
Damn.
So I owned it on PlayStation 3, PlayStation Vita, and PSP. Like, I wouldn't give a fuck. I'd buy it a 4th time. Because I'm a fan of the series, right? Like, I'm willing to support Atlas. And it doesn't take a lot of sales from people like me who really like that stuff to funnel in the trophy support and things that Sony wants. It's just a matter of people showing their support beyond that. Because, like, if it's on the PlayStation 3, then what's stopping you from buying it there, right?
Right.
And if people keep buying it on the PS3, it's just like, why the fuck would we patch that in? We're selling it anyway.
Unless you're like me and don't have a PS3 anymore and still want to buy those
Me
games.
neither. I don't. I'm just kind of salty because I really want like Capcom versus SNK 2.
I just wish Sony would do the backwards compatibility thing. Even if they did it somewhat similar to the Xbox, I would be happy.
Well, the problem with that is that Sony doesn't do it as a cost-cutting measure. Because last I checked, some of the stuff, like the fact that the PlayStation 3 the first processor was meant for supercomputers, which failed horribly. Like we all saw how well that turned out.
Yeah, right.
That was meant for the supercomputer market. That was a big deal. That's why that costed a lot. And then the backwards compatibility was another big issue that ended up just ramping up the cost. That's why it was $600 for a PlayStation 3. But like, regarding the PlayStation 4, it's like, I wish they had backwards compatibility, but I also don't have many PS3 games anymore.
I still have a handful myself. Mostly
I only have the collector's
JRPGs.
editions that I own. So I've got like GTA 5, Trails of Cold Steel, and Final Fantasy 13-2 are the only PS3 games that I own right now.
Yeah, all the ones I have are mostly all JRPGs. The 2 Miku games that came out on the PS3, and whatever collector's editions from the PS3 I have.
It's funny. One of my roommates tried to convince me to buy a Miku poster from Sunrise Records the other day, which is like the big Canadian music retailer, but they sell posters and stuff too.
Right.
And it was actually pretty decent. Like I was thinking of buying it, and then I was like, but I fucking hate Miku.
Dude, you should buy the
Luke,
poster.
no.
You should buy the poster anyway. Hold on to it, and I'll buy it from you.
But listen, Luca is better.
Fuck
Miku
you.
sucks.
Fuck
No,
you.
Luca's way hotter, and she sounds better.
Fuck you. I'll give you that though. Luca's English is much better.
Yes, exactly.
But-
That's the point that I'm trying to make.
Still, fuck you. But seriously, get that poster so I could buy it. I got a big ass Miku wall scroll on my wall. I'm not ashamed to have a poster.
I mean, I've got Fate Stella hanging on my wall right now. Actually, we've got a lot of posters right now. Fuck. Yeah, I had to look around my living room. I was like, what posters do I currently own?
And if anything, if you don't buy the poster to hold on to it for me, next time you go out, like, tell me how much it's worth and I'll fucking pay you for it. Somehow.
I mean, fuck, sure, why not? I mean, I'm sure you could just order it online.
I mean, I probably could, but I don't know. Well, anyways, we're kind of like sidetracking ourselves again, but so my question to you is, with the PS4 numbers that have sold so far, do you think they could break 100 million consoles sold by the end of this year?
By the end of this year, it's
100
I don't
million,
know.
yeah.
I really don't know, because like it took them 2 months to sell, to sell 3 million units.
Right.
So if you do the math, it's possible.
It's like $1.5 million per month.
Yeah, it's like if they sell consistently, it's definitely doable. And I think the holiday season and Black Friday will certainly help with that, especially if more stuff comes out for it that like people will want.
Right.
Like, oh man, so apparently, not to get sidetracked again, but Shadow of the Colossus comes out tomorrow.
A lot of people are saying it's the best version of the game.
My roommate really wants it, but I've never liked it.
I never liked it either. I just don't care for the gameplay.
No, me neither. I find it very boring and very like it's people read a lot of meaning into it that they probably don't have to. But anyway, the other big piece of news that we have today.
Let's go into the one about the new president and CEO of Sony and Kaz Hirai being promoted to chairman.
Yeah, so apparently Kenichiro Yoshida is going to become Sony's president and CEO, whereas Kaz Hirai is going to become the chairman. And it just states here that so Yoshida is the current director, representative CEO, executive deputy president, and chief financial officer. And he is now director, representative CEO, president, and CEO, effective April 1st of this year. So the management transition was proposed by Kaz Hirai to the Sony nominating committee, which was approved by the board of directors at a meeting held earlier on, let's see, what day was this written? On February 2nd. According to Hirai, it says here, ever since my appointment as president and CEO in April 2012, I have stated that my mission is to ensure Sony continues to be a company that provides customers with condo to move them emotionally and inspires and fulfills their curiosity. To that end, I have dedicated myself to transforming the company and enhancing its profitability, and am very proud that now, in the third and final year of our current mid-range corporation plan, we are expecting to exceed our financial targets. And it excites me to hear more and more that people enthuse that Sony is back again. As the company approaches a critical juncture where we will embark on a new mid-range plan, I consider this to be the ideal time to pass the baton of leadership to new management for the future of Sony, and also for myself to embark on a new chapter in my life. My successor, Kenichiro Yoshida, has supported me closely since returning to Sony in December 2013, contributing extensively beyond his place as CFO and acting as a valuable confidant and business partner as we took on the challenge of transforming Sony together. And then, he just goes on to basically talk about that. So, how do you feel about this? Because everybody commented on it, but they're all kind of saying the same thing, that, yeah, this is a good idea. Yoshida regularly helps out beyond his means.
I mean, I think if the guy earned his spot, I say, why not? Sorry, I bumped the mic.
I think that if what they say in this article from Silicon Era is true, then I think that we won't really see too many changes around Sony. Basically what I'm saying is that this is a good move, and I think that things probably won't change for the worse. They can only go up from here, and in the worst case scenario is that nothing changes. Things stay the same.
Right. I mean, Hirai was good, and Yoshida did a lot, beyond, like you said, beyond his means. So I think, making these changes could only help.
Yeah.
Sony's
definitely
been a great company over the past few years. They still didn't make some of the best decisions. They still didn't make some of the best decisions, but they've been a lot better than they have, I would say during the PS3 generation.
I was going to say, I think that the worst Sony has ever been
was during that hack.
Era.
Yeah, during that hack.
Yeah, it was pretty terrible.
Remember how they waited almost a month for them to say anything of what actually happened?
Yeah.
And they just kept stringing us along, assuring that things were going to get better. And the PSN was down for an entire month. That was bad.
The only thing they really did to fix that was they gave everybody 2 free games, I want to say, and it was Wipeout, and which I actually really liked. Wipeout's really good.
Well, they gave us a choice of 4, but we were only allowed to choose 2.
Oh yeah, that's right. It was Wipeout, Infamous, Little Big Planet, and I can't remember the fourth one.
Dead Nation.
Resistance?
No, it was Dead Nation.
Oh, was it?
Yeah. See, back then when game sharing was a thing on the PS3, it really was frowned upon. But now Sony took the measures to do away with that. Me and my buddy Dan, we game shared accounts. So that I picked 2 games and he picked the other 2 games, and then we logged into each other's accounts and we got the other 2 games we didn't pick. So we both got all 4 of them.
You are part of the problem. You are part of the problem.
That was the one and only time we ever did that.
I was gonna say, how dare you have friends? I never had friends. that shit with.
That was the one and only time we did that, man. And Xbox, you can do it now. And they haven't fixed it yet. My brothers do it all the time.
Fuck.
When my one brother buys a game, he puts his account on the other one's Xbox as the home console, and he goes in and he downloads all the games that he buys.
Well, there are definitely... I've been told that there are ways around it for PlayStation. I've never tried them myself, but we're... Okay, I'm going to admit to a crime, a future crime, but... Basically, my roommate and I have been thinking about trying to get around Sony's game share stuff, because I want to try Shadow of the Colossus, but I also don't want to have to sit in his room, which looks like a fucking twister went through it.
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah, so that's gonna be fun.
So, the next statement listed here was by Yoshida himself.
Okay, so yeah, Yoshida says that he's very grateful for their trust and confidence in appointing him as to this position. He feels that it's a great responsibility, and that together with the outstanding talent that they have across the Sony group, or as it would be in Japanese, the Sony Zaibatsu. Fucking you walk in and it's just Heihachi. But anyway, he hopes that he will aim to build on the foundations established by Kazuhirai and execute further reform measures to enhance their competitiveness as a global enterprise and enable them to realize long-term growth. His first priority, for example, will be to make another mid-range profit corporation plan, starting in April, together with an immediate business plan for the 2018 fiscal year, which lasts, I believe, April to April, and then to move ahead with its implementation. He thinks that it's very exciting that everyone's looking towards the future as well. That's just a summary of it, basically.
So, I think it's a good move. Let the guy prove himself again.
Yeah. I think that I think he's earned it from what the other statements have said. I'm curious to see where Sony's going to go from here because I don't keep up with the business side of our industry very often.
I mean, we're going to a little bit more now, but
yeah, we're going to have fully. To now. But so I've never really kept up with it. And I'm definitely curious to see what kind of goals Sony's going to set for itself and how they're going to try to reach those goals.
Well, only time can tell.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm just curious now if for some reason this new move fails, what are they going to do to fix things? God forbid, anything negative happens.
I think that from a business perspective, the thing to do, as unfortunate as it is, would probably be to have the two guys return to their original positions, depending on the severity of the thing that happens. Depending on if it's a fuck up, it depends on the severity of the fuck up.
Right.
However, when it comes to the actual stuff that we see as gamers, it's a question of what can they do to reverse any bad decisions that might be made. And I don't really have an answer to that because I don't know what they're planning right now, so it's too early to tell.
Right. So to wrap this up and officially wrap up episode 5, and I'll take this one because it's really fucking short. So there's an event called South by Southwest that's been going on. And Sonic and Sega are planning to, what they say, take the convention by storm with a new game announcement. It was revealed on the website for South by Southwest 2018 that Sega will be having a Sonic the Hedgehog panel where they will update on the strong performance, quote-unquote, of Sonic in 2017 and show off a new game. I don't know about how strong they think their performance was.
I was about to say, I think that Sonic Mania would probably be the reason why they think that.
Speaking of Mania,
I haven't played much of it yet.
Speakers at the panel include head of Sonic Team Takashi Itsuka, Sonic PD Director Austin Keys, Sonic Mania Animation Director Tyson Hess, and Social Media Manager Adam Weber. The panel will take place on March 16th, 2018 at 3:30 p.m., 4:30 p.m., I'm guessing Canada time.
Yeah, I think so.
So, if it's happening South by Southwest, it doesn't say Eastern, so I don't know when this would be Eastern. I'm going to have to look that up. What do you think? This could be Sonic Mania 2 already?
No. Knuckles, and Knuckles.
No, we don't need that.
Yes, we do.
No, we don't.
Yeah, we fucking do.
No. You watch. It'll be a Ugandan Knuckles game, and he'll show us D-Way.
That was going to be my next suggestion. Was D-Way featuring Ugandan Knuckles?
I'll kill myself if that's the case.
When he gets the 7 Chaos Emeralds, he can spit on the fake queen.
Oh boy. But in all seriousness, do you think this is Sonic Mania 2 already?
I hope so, and I kind of hope that if we do get it, then we get... From what I've played of Sonic Mania, it's really good, and it's a good throwback. but it doesn't have many new stages.
No, it's got 4 out of 12.
Yeah, and I'm not saying the stages that we got were remixed kind of in interesting ways, but they weren't the best.
Well, you know why they used so many is because they're returning.
Fashion, dude.
Yeah, and they were returning to 2D for the first time in over 20 years. So, I mean, I was a little disappointed too. I wrote a review of Sonic Mania. It's on the Black Sakura Facebook page. If you want to fish for it, it was back in
I'll take
July.
A look later.
I mentioned, how it could have used more original stages. So if there's going to be Sonic Mania 2, I'm hoping it has more original stages. We're the splash of reusing more retro stages again. There's nothing wrong with reusing retro stages, especially if they redesign them.
So if they do, what stages would you like to see come back?
Leave Green Hill Zone alone. No more, please.
I'm fucking tired of Green Hill and reinventing Green Hill.
And I'm starting to get sick of Chemical Plant just because of that's been remade 3 times now.
Well, we got it in Sonic 2, we got it in Generations, and we got it in Sonic Forces as well.
Yeah, and
which I not played, thank fuck.
Yeah, and Mania. It was in Mania as well.
Fuck me, I haven't played enough of Mania, to be honest. Like, I played, Green Hill very briefly.
So that was it.
I've been enjoying it, but I was like, fucking Green Hill again. Like, come on.
Yeah, and then, Chemical Plant was the second zone, so if you didn't get past Green Hill, then you didn't get very far.
No, I booted it up right after I got it, and then I had some work that I had to do.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, fuck it. I'll just come back to this later.
So we've seen 3 redesigns of that stage already, and I know Green Hill's seen a lot more. But if you're going to use a great opening stage, why not pick Emerald Hill Zone for once from Sonic 2? That was a great opening stage.
This might be a controversial opinion. I'm fucking tired of the whatever hill zone to be the start of Sonic.
Yeah, but I mean, you know why they do it.
It's nostalgia, and it's always very, it's a safe choice.
Yeah.
But I personally am just kind of tired of it. Like, give me something weird. Give me something that's kind of out there. Like,
Genocide City.
To start it off in fucking Eggman Land, but, Jesus Christ.
Or, Genocide City.
Well,
the scrapped level from Sonic 2?
What?
The scrapped level from Sonic 2 that was called Genocide City?
Nah, man, give us Mystic Cave Zone.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't mind if they reuse that one, personally.
That'd be awesome.
Let's say, so from Sonic 1, maybe I wouldn't mind seeing...
Spring Yard.
For me, well, I would personally pick Starlight Zone, to be honest.
Actually, fuck yeah. Yeah, that's a much better choice.
From Sonic 1, I wouldn't mind seeing them reuse Starlight Zone. From Sonic 2, either Mystic Caves or Hilltop Zone. I loved Hilltop Zone. That was my favorite stage. Cool. Yeah, that was my favorite. I'd like to
see them do Marble Garden, but I'd like to see them do it right from Sonic 3.
Oh, God, I hated that stage.
That stage fucking sucks, but it had some really cool ideas.
Yeah. From Sonic 3, I would pick Ice Cap Zone, personally.
Oh, yeah, that little snowboarding segment was really neat.
And from Sonic and Knuckles, if we had to pick at least 4 stages for them to remaster.
Oh, shit.
They already picked Flying Battery and Lava Reef from Sonic and Knuckles.
Which is a shame, because those are the 2 good ones.
Yeah, Sandopolis was kind of blah. Sky Sanctuary. Do that one.
They've already done that in Generations.
They have, but they could reinvent it again.
That's true. And, I kind of liked what they did with it in Generations.
Yeah, it was pretty fun.
See, I'd be more interested, and I know this is going to sound weird, but I'd like to see them take the stages from later Sonic games and kind of 2D-ify them.
Yeah, kind of like what they did in Generations.
But
they did, they did Speed, what was it, Speed Highway, Seaside Hill, and was it Emerald Coast?
I don't remember. It depends on which version you played, too.
No, it wasn't Emerald Coast, because Speed Highway was from the first game. The second... Oh, City Escape from the second game. They 2D-ified that one. That's what it was.
That was fun.
Yeah, maybe do something like that. Pick a 3D stage and 2D-ify it. That wouldn't be a bad idea, either.
Yeah, I'd be more interested without the thing. I found in Generations, those stages were kind of bleh. They were... it was clear to me playing Generations that they put more effort into 3D Sonic than they did into 2D Sonic, and I didn't dislike it, but I found that the 3D stages just kind of dragged on.
It still plays better than Forces.
That's true. I've not tried Forces, and I have no intention of doing so.
Yeah, don't bother.
Man, so I am playing KOF right now, and this is not nearly as good as KOF 2000, but I'm cool with this. This is...
I still want to try 14 at some point.
It's all right. It's a different beast than Street Fighter, or even, dude, it's a much different beast than fighters. Like, combos in SNK games are usually pretty limited, so they do a lot more damage. In my experience, I don't know if that's just because, like, I'm not... I just recently got into SNK a couple of months ago.
But you know what? Having limited combos, kind of like...
It's a good defensive option. That's the fucking problem with fighters, is that their combos are too long.
Like, yeah, like, you know, having shorter and limited combos, it, like, makes you think more strategically, too.
Yeah, like, that's kind of what I liked about fighters having very limited options, is that there are more ways to chain options together.
But, you know, what they did with the auto combos kind of fucked it all up.
Yeah, I'm still kind of salty about BlazBlue having that as well.
So, to wrap it up here with the Sonic thing, possibly Sonic Mania 2, maybe later this year or early next year. Because if you think of the development cycle, I don't know, you probably don't remember that far back.
No.
They did 9 Sonic games in the time span of like 5 to 6 years back then. So it is possible that they can do Sonic Mania 2 and have it out by maybe September, October this year.
I don't think Sonic Mania would be too resource intensive either.
No.
Because it's not a 3D game. However, if they are going to do something 3D, what would you like to see?
Sonic Adventure 3.
Yes.
Hands down. No more of the Sonic Boom bullshit. No more of the Sonic Forces trash. Or if it's not Sonic Adventure 3, make it an all-new original game that doesn't suck like 06.
Yeah.
That I would be interested in. And don't make it gimmicky like the Wii games either.
Yeah. Fucking fuck.
But I think with this short amount of time, I think it's going to be Sonic Mania 2.
Oh, probably.
So, when more news about that is known on March 16th, we will bring it to you right here on the Game Corner podcast. So, with that being said, now that we're finally done with episode 5, actually, I do have a closing thoughts for you.
Oh?
So remember in the review, we were talking about the dramatic scenes and the dramatic finishes and whatnot in the game? And you said that you wanted to see, like, in the game, it would be cool if they had the Teen Gohan destroying Cell with the father-son Kamehameha in the game? Well,
they do, but what I had said was that I'd rather see it if you used that attack instead of you hitting him with a neutral heavy attack.
Right, yeah, because my brother showed me that stuff earlier today. Because I saw him.
It's pretty good.
I saw him finish off Kid Buu with Super Saiyan Goku with the Spirit Bomb. The animation played. It looked really cool.
It's pretty rad. I've played them all. I really like that, but I also think that it would be really cool if you hit your enemy with a super and killed them with that super. And
that's how they should have done it, though. Yeah,
that's how they should have done it.
That's what I said to my brother. I said, why didn't they just have the scene play out when Gohan beats Cell with his ultimate, because that is his ultimate attack.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think ArcSys like kind of dropped the ball on that one. But yeah. So next week I'm going to have a review of Street Fighter V Arcade Edition. I'll talk about the changes they made to Street Fighter V and if I think it's better or worse.
Probably pretty terrible. I don't really like Capcom that much.
Next week we will also have the coverage or major discussions about the NIS America press conference that is this Friday night at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time. So we're going to be recording pretty late because we don't know if we're going to live stream that you guys could come on Twitch or whatever and watch and bullshit with us while we're doing this. I think that would be a pretty cool way of doing it, but we don't know how long it's gonna be. That's the thing.
Yeah.
So we'll figure it out. I also have an article here about that. Are you familiar at all with the Hong Kong 97 game? That bootleg shit thing from Japan?
I've seen the AVGN video once or twice, but I don't really remember much.
Yeah, well, there's an article on it that actually came out yesterday.
Okay.
And I want to talk about that in the podcast. If not part 1, then definitely part 2. Because the guy that made it, he's sick of people. And he came out of the woodwork and he had some things to say.
Oh, God.
So, yeah, look forward to that this coming week. Again, guys, by the time you see this, parts 1 and 2 will be on the channel for episode 5, so go back and listen to those and watch those if you haven't yet. Again, follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, YouTube. Follow Black Sakura, follow Erin Fitzgerald, and come on over and check out jotaku.com for all your anime, manga, and video game articles and whatnot. Everything as far as links and sources will be in the description that you'll need. And that was it. So what are your closing thoughts for this weekend's podcast? You got anything else to say?
I think that I'm looking through my PS4 right now, and I own too many fighting games. I own way too many fighting games. I think I might actually possibly in the near future start talking about some games that dropped last year that I haven't really gotten around to finishing. I've got fucking I haven't finished Persona 5 yet. I haven't finished Tales of Zestiria yet, and Jesus Christ, I haven't finished Valkyria Revolution either, but it's fucking terrible. So there's a lot of games that I have right now that I want to talk about. Maybe I'll do mini reviews or something.
Yeah.
Before we get into the news in the coming days, but otherwise, fucking Street Fighter 5 is bad, and you should feel bad.
We'll see.
It's not as bad as Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. From what I've played of that fucking demo,
that game is a fucking trash heap.
Fire.
That game is a trash heap, dude. When I streamed it for Extra Life, I could not go 25 minutes. My friend Dan goes, "You probably should stop playing this game before you break something." So I did.
Jesus, bro.
And then I deleted the video on the fucking off of my channel because I'm like, I don't want this on here.
That's fair.
But so look forward to the content that we had mentioned for episode 6. Possibly another 3-parter, So and there should be
I'm free this weekend, so
yeah. So we have a lot of time and a lot of things to possibly bullshit about. So with that being said, thanks for watching, guys. Especially the surprise part 3, episode 5. My name is The Rose, and for the possibly drunk Cypher.
I'm not drunky yet.
Thanks for watching, folks, and we'll catch your ass down the road.
Surprise part 4 coming tomorrow.